Ooh, teardown time, or rather repair time. I just got this package with the Yamaha PSS-680. This is a FM synthesizer of the Portasound series by Yamaha. It's a really cool little beast. Unfortunately, this one is, well, not in super safe. It works according to the previous owner. It works fine. She also showed pictures of it running, though she didn't really know what it was. And of course, I got it for very cheap, just $7, which is ridiculous. But anyways, she said it had been on the attic for ages, and well, as you can see by the yellowed keys and general dirtiness, yeah, it's very dusty. It needs to be taken apart. It needs some TLC, and also what the previous owner did, or at least somebody, they tacked this probably cheap power supply brick onto the keyboard through these two wires. It wasn't even soldered, it was just the wires twisted into each other. Very crappily done, and well, it sticks out of the on the side here, out of the battery compartment. Also, I hear things rolling about inside there, so yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the power supply. I'm going to guess it's just a broken solder joint or something. At least, well, of course that's what I hope it is. I do know it works, I do know it goes on, so the power supply is probably fine. I'm gonna guess these wires are wired on the power supply somewhere. So we're gonna have a little look inside, and well, hopefully I can get it working fully again, and we can have some really amazing jams with this thing, because this thing is very expensive in a very surprising way. You don't really expect it from these kind of keyboards. They're not marketed as professional keyboards, and they're generally more considered toys nowadays. But this thing is very expensive. It has a drum programming section, it has a sequencer, you can program the synthesizer from the front panel, but also, and this is the most important aspect, it has Midi. And not only can you control it through Midi, not only can you control other Midi devices with it, but you can also further control the synthesizer parameters through Midi. And there's some people who made really cool software for this, so you can fully customize the FM synthesis section in this thing, and that's really cool because you can get some really cool sounds out of this thing. Anyways, enough talking. Where's my screwdriver? Well, this one will do. Screwdriver time. Fuck. Well, it's 5 missing screws. That's pretty bad. I can already tell that the person who did this isn't really a professional in any way. Oh, what? Oh, jeez. Ah. Oh god, that's dusty. Oh. Ah. Oh god, that's gross. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I'll find those screws. I'll find them later. Oops. Got a bit distracted by the fact that these are soldered on the battery terminals. Which is... oh dear. Yeah. Okay, that's creative. Not exactly good. I think I'm gonna get the vacuum cleaner. Clean this up a little bit, because with my dust allergies I'll probably die if I dive into this. There's probably the YM series I see on here somewhere, which is not actually a dedicated FM chip, but a more like an everything in one package. There's the FM synthesis, the CPU, RAM, ROM, the whole package in one thing. Well, there's your problem. The PCB is cracked right here. So that's probably why there is no power on this. I think, yep, I see the problem here. We have a big old crack in this trace here. So these are probably fine. But this one, which should be the ground terminal, if I guess correctly, that one is broken. So yeah, I don't want this to crack any further. So I'm gonna have to think what I'm gonna do here, because normally I would say like I would run a little wire from here to here, but I'm afraid with further abuse of this power plug this thing will go further. So I might need to hack together something, but not as hacky as that stupid wire on the battery connector solution. In the meantime, let's head over to here. We have some ICs here. The XE405B0, no idea what that is. Seems to be the 49th week of 1988 that one was made. So that's quite a long time ago, which is correct actually, because the 680 and also the 480 were produced starting 1988. So shift registers maybe for the control, because this is the, yeah, this is also the control panel. So we have some more circuitry here. Oh, it's a little crystal there. Interesting. Yes, these LEDs. These are interesting little packages strapped to the back of the PCB, or the front rather. See what else we got. So here we have the Midi section. So interestingly, there's of course your Midi input and your Midi through, which do as stated, but the Midi output is actually also a Midi through, because all the Midi signals received on the input get routed to both the output and the Midi through, which is kind of interesting, but I guess if it gives you extra flexibility in routing the signal to more devices, as some sort of splitter. And of course also what you play on this synthesizer also gets output on the Midi out. And I'm gonna guess, the other way around, that this is the Midi control circuitry. For some reason Yamaha decided not to use normal connectors, but just to solder everything in place, it seems. Yep, I don't want to pull too hard on this because I gotta be careful because of this. But I'll try to give a little peek inside, like so. There we go. So this is pretty much just analog circuitry, which should mean that I'm gonna guess this chip is the central core, or this one, or it's hidden somewhere. I'm kind of confused actually now. But yeah, also there was a billion centuries of worth of dust on these, on the switch and on the slider. It was really gross, like pretty much a thick layer of cake like this. Christ. I also cleaned up the framework a bit more, so it's not that dirty inside. Other than these things, to be honest, looks pretty okay. I did find this little corner here And given the color, I guess it's from a key, but couldn't really find out from which key it came from. So, but, well, if something doesn't work, I guess we'll know then. Anyways, I'm just gonna try to bridge some wires here. There is seems to be like another crack here, which actually to which actually the power connector is attached to. So if I move it about, it's just this little area that moves about here. So it's like a cracked off section now. So if this moves just a little bit, it won't crack further. But of course you need to be really careful with this. But for now, for testing, I think I'm just gonna bridge 2 wires here and see if it works. And we'll come up with a little bit better solution later. Yeah. We'll have to do for now. This little trick I like to use. I usually use the screw holes of the framework. There's a little holder for wires, so I can sort of easily solder them. Like so. Yeah. Always de-electrify yourself using something that's grounded, because otherwise you'll just zap your precious synthesizer. These wires attached, let's see if we can get some lights to appear. Also gonna quickly check it for shorts using my multimeter. Let's put that there. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Oh yeah, of course. This is the little switch in the thing. Should check these. This one is fine. Let's check the connections. Come on. There we go. Okay. Seems to be in order. Well, let's try it out. Great moment of truth. Everything checks out on the multimeter. Let's turn it on. I'm not sure how it works yet, actually. Okay. All seems to work. Okay, cool. Cool. So that really was the issue with the power supply, that cracked PCB. So it works now. But I still have to be really careful with this. I guess I'll have to learn how it works first before I can test all the features. There's a demo. Okay, so the volume slider is a bit crackly, but I kind of expected that with the amount of dust that was in there. So I'll have to put a little bit of contact spray in there. But it's not too bad, actually. Doesn't yeah, there's a bit of that the stereo goes a bit wonky. You touch the volume knob, so yeah, that definitely needs some TLC as well. But hey, we've got some life. Awesome. Time to play. Oh, it's a bit dark, but I had a little play around with this thing, tried to understand all its functions, and yeah, I pretty much got it down now. But I did discover that these pads don't work that nicely. You have to press really hard before something happens. They're slowly getting better, but I'm afraid I'll end up damaging something. So I'm gonna take it apart again and take this off, see what's up with it. Maybe a screw is loose somewhere or so, something that the PCB is not properly in place. Just check it out, because whoever worked at this thing before didn't really do a good job, so yeah, I don't really trust them. But otherwise it seems to fully work. All the functions, the synthesizer, the sequencer, the memory banks all seem to work, and the custom drummer function also works, except for the awkward pads. So yeah, I got myself a synthesizer. Okay, so I unscrewed this. Should actually raise my camera a bit. I can see it a bit better. There we go. So I unscrewed this. There were some screws missing, so that probably really didn't help the case of the button presses. It probably would push the PCB out like this, so it wouldn't contact properly. But let's take a look nonetheless. It's a bit of a guff here. I think I'll just give it a little wipe. Oh yeah, there's a lot. Oh, look at all this dirt. Well, I think that's the problem. This is just really dirty. Christ. Look at that. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a good wipe. I'm gonna do that for the other buttons there too. And that will probably help a lot. And then I'll also I'll try to find some extra screws, so this will be properly in place. And I think that should fix this, because yeah, this is really dirty, so of course the contacts are just not working properly. How did this get so dirty? Holy shit. Okay, BRB. There we go. They're all in place again. Yeah, there. Still very unresponsive. Yeah, they're still very unresponsive. Well, that works. Oh, please stop. Okay. So they're still very unresponsive. So, I wonder if they're like due to use. They're maybe constantly pressing against the contacts and therefore not working. Because it seems kind of random that they're not working or they are working. I didn't see any cracks in the PCB or anything, so I guess I'll open it up again and have another look. At least they're clean now, but maybe not clean enough. I don't know. Okay, so I'm doing a little test here. I've opened it up again. I'm just using this little screw to simulate a contact. I'm just going over these things. Oh, there we go. So it seems that these contacts are working. Yeah, so those contacts are working fine. I need to figure out what exactly is going wrong. It is working like this. I'm also gonna check this one in a second, but at least this is working. So at least seems something up with these pads, because using them like this just even touching them. They respond properly. So these contacts are all fine. I tested each one of these and they all respond normally, but I wonder if something is like up with this coating maybe on these. Or I just haven't found the short yet. Either that or... Hey, what's this? We have live. So I couldn't get the damn things working. Let me lift this up. So what I did was, very carefully, just to not short things out. There we go. Let me get a different angle too. There we go. What I did was I added a little piece of aluminium foil. It's very improvised, this of course, because these pads really don't conduct anymore. They just the electronics are working fine, but these little coated pads just don't conduct properly. And there's some, like I think it was these two, or maybe these two, that still conduct decently. And those still work, but the other ones are just a disaster. So I'm just gonna put a tiny little piece of aluminium foil on these middle pads here, because that's where you'll naturally press anyways, like on the middle pad. So and that should fix it, because this one works really well now. Like I can just lightly press it and it triggers. So yeah, it's simply a matter of this conductive material just not conducting anymore, which is interesting. So yeah, guess I'll have to finick around with this now, but at least I found a solution, and hopefully it will work well enough for all the pads. Maybe I'll put a little bit of separator here, so that there's a little bit more distance between the pads and the PCB. But well, that will be up to experimentation. Well, here we are then. So I love that sound. So the drum pads are pretty much working now. This one has a bit of a double trigger now. They're, I don't know, they're still kind of awkward regardless, but they all work now. Also these ones, so if I want to have like an intro fill in to my whatever beat I have selected now, actually. Let's go with funk, shall we? Something different. 13. That's pretty funky. Let's do a little fill in. Or a different fill in. Or another fill in. And an ending. Nice ending. Well, start stop also works. You do have to kind of press them exactly in the middle now, so but works. The custom drummer, how does this work again? Okay, so I'm just gonna clear this. There we go. So it just so when you have the custom drummer, these first four white keys, they act as sort of control buttons. You can clear notes, you can add accents, you can add rolls, and you can clear everything, what I just did. So let's just add something. What was that again? It's a bit awkward. That actually sounds pretty cool. It does quantize it. So now I can play a little tune over that. Like, oh yeah, we're still in program mode. Sorry, forgot. So now I have to press the play on off here. And then I can use my custom rhythm. I think. Was that how this worked? Or do I have to do this? I have to do that. Beautiful. So, that's working decently well now. So, I think I should make a little song with this.